Mr. Sammy, I don't think you need any introduction. Your name is trend and viral. I think you got also a shout out from Trump himself. Today's episode is about technology. We're gonna do it differently, not talking about the mafia or. I wanted to know, I'm into the tech and AI and Web3 and all that. I wanted to know during your time in the mafia back in the days, how was the technology?
Well, nothing like it is today, that's for sure. And now I know why you brought me on to goof on me because I'm the worst with technology and you could just goof on me anytime you want. So, to your Kuwaiti friends and to the public out there, I'm not really a great tech guy. I was in prison. When I went to prison, I got a 20-year sentence. I did almost 18 years. These phones didn't exist when I went to prison or when I was younger, and even YouTube didn't exist. So when I came out, technology to me, I mean, I was always a little confused with computers, but phones and all of this stuff was AI. All this stuff was
Yeah.
foreign. So
Yeah, I was about to ask you about like when you came out from the prison, was the technology like different for you, and was it like weird and
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought I was on planet Mars when I started. My son actually started me off with this. I did a book years ago, The Underboss, and I wrote a book with Peter Moss, great guy, passed away now. Um, so I really didn't know much about technology. I knew a little bit about Hollywood, not too much. And when he came out, he was telling me about technology and YouTube and all of this stuff. And he says, Dad, I think you should get on. I met James Carroll and I started doing my podcast. James Carroll's a great guy. He understood everything. And that's how I got into starting with that.
Mm.
I just progressed little by little. So
Yeah.
now when I deal with technology, I look for where the hell is Amina? I'm looking for her or somebody. So, but I understand it a lot more now,
Yeah.
but it wasn't in my era or my time, growing up or anything like that. I mean, I think I would have been in jail 5 times faster with the technology they have now.
Hmm.
Uh, Everybody's got there's an argument. I see people in a restaurant, there was a little argument, 15 people are picking up phones. So they're recording it.
Yes,
And,
exactly.
so, I mean, no matter what you do or what you say, it's being monitored and watched, and it's, a little uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
I guess it's the times.
Yeah. And back in the days they were like phone taps, and they were like bugging cars and homes and all that,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes.
Nowadays it's more like complicated and more advanced, as you said, like a bunch of people in the restaurant taking pictures and stuff. And when I tell you something about I'm not gonna mention the website, but if you like in the car or a restaurant or something, you can take a picture of anyone you want, and that is like an AI website, you know and
Right.
I can take a picture of anyone and upload that picture to this website, and I could know the person social media and get all information about him. This website will scan his face, and it will give you all the information about this guy, like social media and stuff. You don't even need the police, and you don't even need the FBI or CIA or anyone. You can do it by yourself, and you can find this person, and that's where the AI is. It's going. That's the direction of the AI, which is crazy. And also, at the same time, you can use it in a good way, but also you can use it in a bad way. You know, I want to hear your thoughts about the AI. What do you think about the AI nowadays?
But the AI, technology and making advancements are good to a point. AI should be used on how to benefit our health. cure people's diseases, stuff like that. That's great. But when it's being used against people or replacing people, now they're making robots who have AI, and it's scary. I mean, you're replacing people.
Yeah.
So I've seen a show where a guy was talking with a robot who
Mm-hmm.
was AI,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking to her, was female, and uh, and she said, "The only thing I don't have is a soul." Now, if you don't have a soul, that means you don't believe in any religions or anything. You may know about it, but you don't believe in it. So that starts to get a little scary. And
Oh.
now it's much, much smarter than humans, and it's very quick. Um, and when, as you go forward, they ask that robot, can you replace humans altogether? Can you program another robot? So she said, in time, yes, humans will not be needed. Now, I think that's a scary question and a scary answer. Now, I'll give you an example. They'll get somebody who'll be a robot, but it's a cop. Now,
Mm-hmm.
they program the cop exactly what to do. So
Mm-hmm.
now the cop pulls you over, asks you for your license and registration and all that stuff, just like a cop would. Now you're a little defiant or argumentative. Now the cop is taught to either use his gun or violence to pull you out of the car. So this is not a human being anymore. This is a robot that's programmed. You might try to move or run the wrong way. This thing's liable to pull out a gun and shoot you
Mm-hmm.
because it has no remorse. It doesn't have any feelings towards you. Um, you know, so it's when you look at the whole thing, there's too many scary roads for this, for people.
Yeah.
Now, when you go into a bank, there could be a robot sitting there, do all your transactions. That's fine, very smart, very quick, cheaper. But now that's all humans out of work.
Mm.
So when you're starting to replace jobs and things like that, you know, I think those things are scary.
Yeah.
People need to work. People need to be people. If you're replacing people with something, a robot that's smarter, I think that's a very dangerous road. I think Elon Musk commented on that and said it could be very scary. It's going to get very scary.
Yeah.
And scary in a way that it'll screw up society altogether.
Yeah. So
And what happens
speak.
if a robot was in charge and becomes a president? They could
Yeah.
press a button and start a war. That's not a person who's thinking like a human being anymore. It's just programmed. This is time. I don't like what they did. I'm going to hit this button. And they send a missile. Very dangerous stuff.
Well, Mr. Sammy, I'm actually writing a book about that. And speaking about Elon Musk, when he said AI could be more dangerous than a nuclear hit, it's I think he doesn't want to talk about it because he got a futuristic vision about the AI. And when we hear like companies saying AI is not here to replace humans, I don't think that's the truth, to be honest, because I've been reading about AI, I'm taking education and stuff. And I even talked to my team at a company and I told them I read something about the AI. I'm not gonna mention the thing I'm reading about, but I'm gonna read it for you. It says it can learn a new task to solve new problems. And it does this by teaching itself new strategies. Generalized intelligence is the combination of many AI strategies that learn from experience and it can perform at human level of intelligence. So later on, the AI doesn't need anything to program it. It doesn't need even algorithm anymore. It can, as you said, you know, it can read your feelings. You can have an AI robot and it can look at you, read your feelings, read your mind, because You can integrate something that scan you, you know, and you
Right.
can read your emotions, your facial expressions,
Right.
and what's going on your mind, and what you're thinking, and what you're trying to do, and it can react to that, and it can even tell you, and it can feel that, this is Sammy, I think you're hungry. How did you know that? So that's where the AI is going, and it can be so dangerous. I think, as you said, it can be a president, it can be a detective, it can be a lawyer, it can be anything. Like Chat GPT knows everything, and with a click, as soon you type a question to Chat GPT, it within a few seconds it give you the answers. It give you all
Right.
the informations, in a few seconds. I think also I want your intake about, do you think the world gonna be dull when the AI is like getting more advanced? Do you think like humans gonna be like home and robots taking over and all that?
I really don't know. I give Elon Musk and I'm giving you credit for bringing up this subject because we all want technology. We all want to learn. We all want it to be easier for ourselves, but we're not talking about the dangers. At least Elon Musk is making money. He owns a company, AI, and he's actually telling you the truth, just like you're doing now. You're writing a book and you're trying to be forthright and tell the public, listen, I use it. I makes my life easier, it makes it better, but there's dangers to it.
Mm,
Now, in the future, if we really release this 100% and gets right into governments, and what stops the AI to turn around from one machine to another and tell them this president doesn't know what he's doing or talking about. This is what we have to do.
mm,
So now you have a machine running it. The machine, I don't know, could create a war. Now you're talking about millions and millions and millions, tens of millions, 100 million people die in a war. And I don't think we want that or be anywhere near that.
mm,
Now, I know they'll say, well, we could, teach it to not do those things. And I understand that part of it. But when the AI computer or robot is teaching another robot, we're not in that mix anymore.
mm-hmm,
So that's what really, really becomes scary. I once saw a movie and she was an alien and she landed on planet Earth. And what she did, she picked a computer and she looked at this computer, all of our newsreels, and it was going 100 miles an hour. Wars, college riots, this, that, the other thing. And she's absorbing all of that stuff.
mm-hmm, mm,
It's the worst of us. So, how does she think when she sees all of that, hears all of that? Which one is good remarks? Which one is bad? Which is good for us and which is bad? Now, we're not making that decision anymore. That machine is.
mm,
And what's the thing if the machine says, well, that's horrible? So we have to stop that, even if they have to use violence to stop it. So now,
mm,
my argument, man to man, we might fight, we might not, but we'll argue, we'll talk. I don't know if you're a computer what you'll do if you don't
sure.
like that argument. You might hurt me altogether. I don't stand a chance against you now.
Mm,
Mentally, I don't stand a chance against the AI. Now, physically, I don't because it's a robot. So
yeah.
I don't know what you would do if the argument broke out and you're a computer, not you. Me and you could argue. I could turn around and say, he's got a good point, really. I don't like it, maybe, and I'm arguing with him, but he's got a good point. And then or we can make up after the argument. Does a computer do that? Or does
No.
a computer say, I'm going to solve this problem? I'm going to take Sammy and throw him right through the wall. That's how I solve the problem, and I'm going to deal
Mm,
with somebody else.
mm.
It's
That's
underling. something
Yeah,
else.
just like
These
in
things,
mm,
it sounds like, a movie or, hi-fi movie or sci-fi movie, but it's not. It's becoming part of reality.
mm. It's
We're
coming.
talking so,
It's
like I said, I give you a lot of credit for what you're doing with your book. I hope I get the first copy signed by you. And I give Elon Musk a lot of credit to be honest enough to talk about it
mm,
and give us these warnings.
mm,
So that's a good thing. And I like the fact that I'm getting to like Elon Musk more and more. He doesn't want to, he took over that company he bought. He don't want to shut it down. He wants people to have freedom of
yeah,
speech.
yes,
He's leaving people on and he's
yeah,
taking a lot of heat for it, but he's doing it anyway.
yeah,
So I got to respect him and like him more and more. I even went on his channel X with some of my stuff, and I have a lot of respect for him and what he's doing and trying to help everybody in one way or another. So, which is a good thing.
yeah. Well, I hope he sees this episode and he might join us and talk to us more about the dangers of the AI. And I think Elon Musk wanna do. He's talking about the dangers of AI and also the regulation about the AI. Someone had to put like a red line. Like you can't cross the line and do like these robots and these softwares. Like nowadays, you have an AI application. You can actually. I have your number, right? And this AI application could call you and tell you, could like do my voice.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And it could call you from my own number and tell you I'm in bad situation. I need like 5 grand. I need you to send it to me right now, please, and all that. And it's all AI. It's not real, which is crazy.
Now
And I
that's
thought,
happening to me already on my site. I've watched the guy talking. I hear Diane Sawyer's voice asking me questions. Now there's a guy who is not me, and he sounds like me, and
mm,
he's answering those questions. So somebody's watching his program thinks that's me, even though he don't look like me. And he's actually doing my interview, redoing it. And I was shocked to see that. And they're saying that's part of uh, AI. Now, I saw another thing that there was a young girl and they all want to do selfies and pictures, and she's beautiful and she's dressed nice. And AI gets it and has her image, the whole thing. It's her still,
mm,
but they take the clothes off. Even in
yeah,
other words, they're showing a body. They know her shape, so it's a woman. It looks like her body. It's not her body, but
mm,
it looks like it is her, and it looks like she's nude.
mm,
Now this is a 16-year-old kid. She's going to go to school. She's going to be humiliated, and people teasing her and thinking, but it wasn't her. It's
yeah,
not her.
yeah,
Now, how to stop that? They could make an X-rated movie with her face, but the
yeah,
body really is not her. It's somebody else doing these things, and you're destroying this kid's life. It's
mm,
it's overwhelming. Now, what is she? How does she run around and just yeah? This is not me. They'll say, no bullshit. That's you. That's your face. That's you. That's your voice. That's you. I mean, how many people will be convinced that that's her or that's what she said and did? And that's horrifying. I
yeah.
have
Because
daughters, young women, and things. So when I look at that and I heard that story and saw it, her mother and father were sitting in an audience looking at it. They were sick. But these are things that are dangerous to us, and I don't know if this is the price we have to pay. I don't know end result if it's worth it. Maybe
yeah,
we should sit the hell with AI and sit and work harder and longer like human beings, like we're supposed to, the hell with AI. If there's that many dangers and that could get that advanced and do these things like we're talking about robots and machines losing jobs, creating wars, humiliating people, that's going to screw up the whole. That's going to screw us up. It cures certain problems, but our human problems, it screws us up tremendously. It
Mm.
could. And
Yeah.
good people, you can draw red lines. Good people will follow those red lines. But there are people out there who give a damn less about
Mm.
red lines and will use it in some capacity. Like I said, I've seen a video or two. I've heard one that I was walking by, and I think it was Anna who was here, and I hear my voice talking,
Mm. Mm.
saying, "What the hell's that?" And I come back, and it's me on my voice on a computer, and that's not what I had said. Now, how do I to tell people that's not me? That's
Yeah.
not what I'm saying. And I
Yeah.
didn't. I'm not. You could distort my voice now to say anything you want, and people would listen to it. Not, they see me sitting here, they hear my voice, and they'll take that image. This is what he says. This is how he thinks,
Mm. Mm.
and that's really
So
not.
that's actually happened to a famous streamer, and I watched him live, and they sent him a video about him being racist, and
Right.
the
Right.
facial expressions and even the hand movements all by AI. And he was like, shocked. He said, "That wasn't me." And
Right.
if you saw the comments, "Oh, this guy is racist, this guy is that, this guy is
Right.
this," but he was like telling people, "That is not me. I swear to you guys, that is not me." And
Right.
some people they doesn't know about AI. They didn't read about AI, what AI can do and does. It's very dangerous. As we said, you can use it in a good way and you can use it in a bad way. You can use it at your work, you know, to help you, like writing a book, doing like Excel sheets and all that. But you can use it in an evil way too. Like I actually did something a few days ago. I asked ChatGPT about who is Sammy the Bull. Okay. So I want to go the back way with the ChatGPT. So he gave me the information about you. And I said, how many hits did Sammy the Bull plant? And he actually gave me the numbers, you know. And I told ChatGPT, give me the most famous hit that he planned, and he gave me about Paul Castellano. And I said, could you plan something better than this? And he stopped there. He said, I can't give you more information, about ChatGPT. I can show it to you. I can like screen share and you can see it's crazy. But imagine if someone could come up with something like ChatGPT, but in a dark way. That would be
Yeah,
crazy.
that's going to happen. That I would bet anything you want to bet that that will happen.
Mm,
As we're talking, I thought, imagine now we finish our meeting, our interview, and I walk away. I'm getting a cup of coffee and so on and so forth. And they
mm,
said, listen, you got a call from who? From you.
mm,
And I say, I just got off the computer with him. We just did an interview.
mm,
No, he didn't do an interview with you. Not yet. So imagine that this whole interview is fake. It's not you, or vice versa. It's not
mm,
me.
mm,
So you did the whole video, sat down, it's done. You're going to go to editing. You're going to do what you're going to do.
mm,
And then you say, what? I was looking right at him. I was talking. I was in his office. What are you talking about?
mm,
No, no. This morning he was in a car accident. Nothing serious, but he's in the hospital. He didn't meet with you. I
That can
mean,
happen.
how blown away would you be?
I'm blown away. How scary is that?
How scary, or whatever the words you want to use, it's right. Or vice versa. I say, that wasn't him. You mean I talked to the guy for an hour? That really wasn't him? No,
Mm.
no.
Or someone could change what we're talking about now.
Yeah, do that, or put in a racist word coming out of my
Yeah,
mouth.
exactly.
Use a racist word. This interview, this hell hurts me. Now, how
Mm.
do I say I didn't say that? I could say that, but who's going to believe it? They're going to
Mm.
say, I saw you. It came right out of your mouth. You said it. And I really do give you a lot of credit for this interview that you're looking at it and digging into it and going deep. I think this is something that the public really, really needs to know about.
Yeah, because I do love the AI. It helped me a
Yeah,
lot
it
with my
helps you a lot.
yeah.
Right.
It's helped me a lot with my thoughts. Sometimes at the night, when I'm alone in my bed, I share my thoughts with ChatGPT. What do you think about this idea? What do you think about this game design? What do you think about this application that I'm working on? What do you think about this customer? And so on and so on. It's like talking to a real like human, which is amazing. You don't need to talk like to your wife or someone who doesn't see your vision. But the crazy thing is that ChatGPT or Copilot or the other, AI chats, they can actually predict and they can feel what you're talking about. They can see your vision,
Right.
few seconds, they can tell you. Let's take it this way. You can ask ChatGPT, I'm gonna do an interview with someone or a podcast, and we're gonna talk about this and that and this and that and this and that. Can you give me a script, a scene? How are we gonna do that? And he gonna give you a crazy scene that you don't even imagine, like something crazy. And you
Yeah.
can keep regenerate that. If you don't like it, you can keep regenerate until you find that something that fits you. It's like unlimited ideas he can give you.
And the best part of that, you'll get it in 5 seconds.
Less than
You won't,
that sometimes.
yeah, you won't have to wait for this. It's
Mm.
popping right in your face in 5 seconds or a few seconds. So that is crazy.
Let's show people something here about what Elon Musk and Joe Rogan is talking about.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
This seems
Nobody
like a scene
listened.
in a movie
Nobody
where
listened.
the robots are going to fucking take over and you're freaking me out. Nobody listened.
Nobody listened.
No one. Are people more inclined to listen today? It seems like an issue that's brought up more often over the last few years than it was maybe 5-10 years ago. It seemed like science fiction.
Maybe they will. So far, they haven't. I think people don't like normally the way that regulations work. It's very slow. It's very slow indeed. So usually there'll be some new technology. It will cause damage or death. There will be an outcry. There will be an investigation. Years will pass. There will be some sort of insight committee. There will be rulemaking. Then there will be oversight, eventually regulations. This all takes many years. This is the normal course of things. If you look at, say, automotive regulations, how long did it take for seatbelts to be implemented, to be required? The auto industry fought seatbelts, I think, for more than a decade. Successfully fought any regulations on seatbelts, even though the numbers were extremely obvious. If you had a seatbelt on, you would be far less likely to die or be seriously injured. It was unequivocal. And the industry fought this for years successfully. Eventually, after Many people died. Regulators insisted on seatbelts. This time frame is not relevant to AI. You can't take 10 years from the point at which it's dangerous. It's too late.
And you feel like this is decades away or years away from being too late? If you have this fatalistic attitude and you feel like it's going, we're in almost like a doomsday countdown.
It's not necessarily a doomsday countdown. It's a
out of control countdown.
Out of control, yeah. People call it the singularity, and that's probably a good way to think about it. It's a singularity. It's hard to predict, like a black hole. What happens past the event horizon?
Right. So once it's implemented, it's very different because it will be able to.
Once the genie's out of the bottle, what's going to happen?
And it will be able to improve itself.
Yes.
That's where it gets spooky, right? The idea that it can do thousands of years of innovation very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And then we'll be just ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
We will be like this ridiculous biological shitting, pissing thing trying to stop the gods. No, stop. We like living with a finite lifespan and watching, Norman Rockwell paintings.
It could be terrible and it could be great. It's not clear.
Right.
But one thing is for sure, we will not control it.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? That's actually scary.
I think both of them are 100% right. And my opinion, evil always outdoes good. People are power hungry, greedy, and those things outweigh a good person. A good person is not greedy, he's not selfish, and he can go about his life. That's not going to hurt us too much, no matter what he thinks. But when people are evil, they will go to extremes to do it. And that's what I fear. The evil people who, and I think that's what they're talking about. Machines don't know, they're taught. They then teach themselves and, to take over a country for the good of mankind, which is bullshit most of the times. How do we do that? I don't know what AI is going to say. And we want to get Kuwait out of the way. And they give you an example. Well, yes, if Kuwait is out of the way, we will have more oil or blah, 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 whatever bullshit they want to say. That is a scary thing. So now we need or want more oil. We want the Kuwaitis out of the way. How do we do that? By war, by killing people. We take over that country. Does AI dictate this whole thing? To me, that's crazy. First of all, the whole idea of getting more oil and taking over the country.
Yeah, I know. I got you. Yeah.
AI is thinking that, not me. They are. And that scares me.
Yeah.
Because that's not something I would want as a human being, no matter how I want a business to work or I want money or whatever I want. My human instinct is not to just bury thousands or millions of people to get my way. To work hard, it's to do the right thing. We had a relationship that broke up a little bit because of somebody evil that was in the middle of us.
Yeah. And
then you guys were pretty honest with me. Boom, you told me. I got rid of him and we went on. Now we're talking again. And that's human.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what would I have done if I'm a robot to Jack? Jack would be gone.
True.
Jack is still alive. He's gone from me, my life. I don't want him with me, but he's alive. Robots are not going to think like that. Get rid of him means get rid of him. Or a country or stuff like that. And I think that's what he's talking about. And the same thing with Joe Rogan. He's saying years ago, we looked at that as science fiction. Now science fiction is becoming a reality.
Mm.
And that's dangerous. I believe in that conversation between those two guys. I have a ton of respect for both of them.
Mm.
And I think they're right on the money. And I think what we're talking about, what
Yeah,
you're going to write a book about, I think you're
I
right
would.
on the money.
Yeah,
You
I would
guys are being-
actually also love to see you on Joe Rogan's podcast and talking about different things, and one of them is the AI also. And what I want to say is about the AI. What we see at the moment is like generative pictures, videos, sounds, music. Chat GBT give you information, this and that, but we don't know what's going on behind the scene, what they building, what they doing. We don't know what's going on. And I think Elon Musk, he knows that, when Joe Rogan said like how long it's gonna take, we all saw that how the AI just popped out like that,
Right.
you know, like boom. And then we have these all software chat gpt. Where did it came from, which is crazy. But I think they building something beyond our imagination. So what's Elon Musk is doing at the moment, which is amazing. Like a disabled person, you can implement the chip in his head and he can control the phone, the computer, by just looking at it and control it. But imagine if you have something 20 times smarter than chat gbt, or 50 times,
And
or
I
less.
don't, I'm not just going to imagine it. I'm going to say, in my opinion, that's definitely going to happen
Mm,
because it's not us creating something smarter than chat GBT. It's machines creating that, and it's taking them 5 seconds. It would take me months or maybe years, me and you, to think, how do we create something that's smarter than them?
mm,
The machine will do that. We may take us, like I said, months or years. It will take them 10 seconds. That's what's scary.
yeah.
And it just keeps evolving 100,000 miles an hour. And what Elon Musk said, it's too late. How do you stop it? I'm doing something in Hollywood.
Mm,
Hollywood had a strike.
mm,
I didn't understand it in the beginning. One of their problems was AI. Now, why did it bother the actors? Because the actor is getting paid to act and do a scene. Then he sees a scene where he's walking through a door with a woman and he does whatever he does. And the actor said, well, wait a minute, that's not me. And I didn't get paid for that.
mm. It's
So
an
they were
AI.
it was right. AI created it. They had his image, they had his movements, they had the whole how he acts. So they just made a scene with him. And what caused that strike is that the actors turned around and said, but wait a minute. Their biggest problem was, I'm not getting paid for that. Now, if AI was smart enough, they'd say, okay, here's a few dollars, you're paid. He would stop arguing. There would be no strike, and it would just keep going.
Mm,
But they did have a strike. They wanted to set some sort of limits and stuff like that. So this is happening at an enormous speed everywhere.
mm,
So, and I agree with Elon Musk. Once you hit a certain point, I think it couldn't get to a point where you can't stop it no more. Machines ain't listening to you no more. AI is not listening to you. It's listening to another machine somewhere else.
mm,
And that's what he's saying. Sci-fi, science fiction becoming a reality. That is scary. It's one thing to do it in a movie. We love the entertainment, the excitement. We don't want that as a reality.
mm-hmm. And we saw
We should-
that we saw that in many movies. Like one of them is Will Smith, I Robot, I think the movie, and yeah, and there was only one good robot, which is an AI, and the all others was like crazy, killing people and doing as they want. But there is only one that this man programmed to be like a good robot, a good AI. And he told him how to stop them and all that, and which was crazy. And when we go back and look at these movies, we like, this is not gonna happen, this is crazy, this
movie.
is just it's a movie, just imagination. But now we can see that is gonna happen. One day is gonna happen. I don't know, maybe tomorrow they're gonna come up with something with a robot that can cook for you, can clean the house and all that. And I mentioned that because it's already exists, because I saw it yesterday and I was mind blown. I'm like, oh my god, you can have it home and it can clean, cook for you, doing the dishes, washing your clothes, and all that. And
And
it
how
can,
about sex? They can make a robot that is absolutely gorgeous and knows how to sexually satisfy a man, or vice versa, a man who is absolutely very good looking and has special equipment, and now she can have him. She don't need me. This guy is 15,000 times better than me in
that's
every
already
way.
happened in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's
So
in Japan.
now, people's appetite, it's not only that they're washing dishes, they're having sex, they're doing all kinds of things. So this AI is reaching people's minds in every way, shape, and form. So you may not want to have sex with a robot. I don't, but you never know who's thinking what. This is where that door is opening to. Where does this thing go?
Mm.
How far?
Funny thing, we need an AI to understand when a woman is mad, when she tell you, I'm okay. We need an AI to tell us and read that woman's mind and tell us what's the problem, because women are so confusing sometimes. So we need an AI just to tell us what's wrong with my wife. And this I will tell you, she's mad at something, blah, 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 blah. We need that one. That's the only funny thing that we need
Yeah,
about AI.
and that is good in a way, but in a way, I mean, supposing the AI tells you because she's mad that you're not cooking or
Yeah.
cleaning or doing something. Now it's not manly. I don't want to, I'm not a woman. I want certain things I want to do as a man. And if she don't like that, there's divorce. She can leave me. She can do whatever she wants and vice versa. But now with the AI or the robot, and I know that this is what you got to become.
Mm,
You got to become gay. She would
mm,
be happier if you were gay.
mm.
I don't want to be gay.
Imagine if an AI that you have home, that you just bought it, and this AI can read both minds and could create conflict between you guys. Like
It
Sammy is
would.
thinking
It
about
would.
this.
Or it would make you what you're not. Because now the AI, you have no choice. This is what the woman or the robot wants. So it's this way or the highway.
Mm,
So not an argument. You're either going to do what that robot wants or you're gone. They'll
mm,
get rid of you and they'll get somebody else. So it could be an argument. That's not the worst thing. An argument could be straightened out by human beings, hopefully. Some of them, most of them. But this can't be straightened out. So you're going to either be gay or it's the highway.
mm,
And I don't want to continue with the gay stuff, but you could anything.
mm,
She wants you to do whatever she wants you to do.
mm,
And you don't want to do that. So she's taking your manhood away,
Mm.
or vice versa.
True.
You want her to do certain things that she wouldn't normally do as a human being. And she's in the same boat. And she's got kids. What do we do with the kids? What does the AI think about? What do we do with our children?
And it's
My
gonna
child
decide.
completely out of order. I would give my child a slap on the ass. Boom.
Mm.
Eat or go to bed and stop answering your mother. What does the robot do? Does the
True.
kid understand the robot? What are the children? How do they grow? Listen, it's a topic for sci-fi, but it's not sci-fi. It's real. What's going on? Like Elon Musk and Joe Rogan said, just like we're talking, it's real, and the possibilities are scary all over the place.
Mm.
So you know that expression, "Be careful what you ask for." I think AI is one of those things.
Yeah.
You
True.
all want that pleasure of getting things done and right away and this and that and the other thing. And, you know, we all want that, but be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
All kinds of baggage with it.
So, Mrs. Sammy, I don't want to take more of your time. Thank you very much for your time. And this is gonna be a great episode.
I
And
hope.
it's a pleasure. And
I want to
I'm
shock you.
very happy to
I want to
meet
shock you.
you. Hmm.
I'm not really Sammy. Sammy is in another area. I'm a robot.